Clowns. Some people hate them, some people love them. Some people want to pork them. Pork? Really? That's the word I use? Like, I know I can't say the F word till like 45 seconds in, at least, but pork? Come on. That actually sounds so much worse than if I just said. Anyway, for today's submitter, UwuEdgelord, clowns are a vehicle for a shonen battle manga. Welcome to episode 2 of Webcomics, Auguste Fighter. So, Auguste, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Auguste Fighter is a comic hosted over on Comic Fury created by viewer UwuEdgelord that's in the vein of your typical shonen battle mangas. We have the tried and true party of two guys and a girl, a magic system, a lot of action, and even some classic tropes. This one started up in 2024 and is still running. We're at about 2 volumes worth of content deep so far, so this is a good time to start it up if you're looking for some good independently created shonen-style webcomics. Nice chunk of story to sink your teeth into. So I already sank my teeth into it, but before I tell you how it tastes, let me allow UwuEdgelord to provide the ingredients. Yeah, I probably shouldn't write these scripts on an empty stomach. Anyway, the synopsis is as follows. Quote, an action-adventure comedy series about clowns fighting monsters and bad guys. Join Jotun Har in his quest to the big top, a place for clowns like him. Watch him meet new people and defeat dangers in his way, be it monsters or even other clowns. Updates on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, you guys are in luck if you like frequently updated webcomics, something that I'm not familiar with. We got a bit of a comedy on top of the action, and having read what's available, I can safely say this was a fun ride. We got sick battles, funny moments, a little bit of horror, clowns, and a really solid art evolution as well. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the story review segment. So, we have a pretty standard shonen-style cast of characters. We have our main party of Jotun, Curry, and later on Da Vinci. No, not Leonardo. We eventually get a little mascot-style character in Boris the Rat as well. So, to set the story up, we got this guy called Spring-Heeled Jack, who looks so familiar. Oh yeah, that's right, I actually did an art trade during last year's art fight with UwuEdgelord and drew this character. Pretty cool knowing the context now. Check out my art fight videos. Anyway, he mugs Curry, but just before she kicks his ass, Jotun crashes into her. One thing leads to another, and the two of them end up fighting Jack. They get Curry's wallet back, but Jack's in the wind. They go their separate ways, only to reunite later on. Jotun and Curry are both heading to a place called the Big Top to become master clowns. In this universe, clowns are essentially like superheroes. They got powers called tricks, usually based on clown tropes, such as Spring-Heeled Jack's spring abilities. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Jack's like an evil clown. Gotta have some evil clowns, right? So, Jotun and Curry end up heading toward the Big Top, only to encounter these creatures called Heartheads. And I know we're not in the art review segment yet, but I just have to commend these creature designs. They look so creepy, dude. Great work. So the woods they encounter the Heartheads in are also where they find a wounded tunnel rat that they help escape named Boris. I mentioned him earlier. They escape the Heartheads, but they've been bit by them. When they get to a hospital, the doctor says they're gonna die unless they kill the creatures that bit them. This is also where Da Vinci is introduced. So after Da Vinci joins their party, we get a little insight into Jotun's past and why he wanted to be a clown. Classic following his parents' footsteps kind of trope. Tried and true, can't go wrong. But the way to become a clown in this universe is to repeatedly pie yourself in the face, which is freaking hilarious, but such a waste of good pie, you know? I love pie. Why are you going to waste them? Anyway, there's a few other characters and a bit more story available, and I did cut out a few details and side plots, but that's where we're at, more or less, so far. I decided not to rush this one because I did quite enjoy it, and, you know, deadlines. YouTube doesn't like it when you don't make a video for a long time unless it's a gajillion hours long, and to be honest, I don't want to do that much editing. Insofar as characterization is concerned, I think Curry is my favorite. She kind of gives me similar vibes to, like, Lucy from Fairy Tail. Have you ever watched that or read that manga? If we're going to do some other popular shonens for comparison. And yes, I like Fairy Tail, goddammit. I don't understand why that show or manga gets so much hate. It's pretty standard shonen. Like, come on. A crew of found family explores this fantasy world and learns the power of friendship along the way, complete with an annoying mascot character. Oh wait, hold on. That's One Piece. Only difference is at least Fairy Tail has good art. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but I'm glad we got the Oda slander in. I can't wait to see those comments. Give me a minute, I'll find a spot for the Nintendo slander too. Gotta piss everybody off. That's how you get engagement. Anyway, Curry's really determined to become a great clown, but has a bit too much overconfidence, usually ending up with her getting her shit wrecked in every fight. Jotun gives me kind of like Dragon Ball Super era Goku vibes, like super strong, likes a good fight, has a good heart, but is a total dumbass. And Da Vinci is sort of the intelligent tactician of the group, you know, the smart one, sort of like, I guess maybe Megami from JJK. I don't know, I only watched season 1. Read a bit of the manga too. Art style is so much different, very chunky lines. Again, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, despite using shonen tropes that we've all seen a bunch of times, this is still a very entertaining read. I do like the twist that they're clowns and their powers are based on clown tropes. Personally, I didn't find it mind-blowing, but I will certainly keep reading this going forward. It's just fun, you know? It's a fun read. Not everything has to be high literature. It's a good piece of entertainment here. Good work, Edgelord. On to the art review. Art review time. Now, remember, art is highly subjective. There may be art I praise that you, the viewer, don't like, and vice versa. This is based solely on my personal taste. And in the case of Auguste Fighter, again, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I actually kind of like it. Character design is definitely the standout in this series. It's very angular, and the characters have a more chunky outline. It kind of gives me a similar vibe to something like, I don't know, the Fairly Odd Parents in terms of the angularity. Or maybe something more like Panty and Stocking, maybe? Dude, I tried to watch that show, couldn't get through the first episode. It's not good. Overhyped brain rot. Anyway, now that I made some people mad, I look forward to their angry comments. Back to the art. The environments at the beginning are pretty rough, like maybe at some point if you're watching Edgelord, which you probably are, go back and maybe do a little bit of redraw on the introductory arc. A few of the fight scenes are a little hard to read, but that's an issue with even professional mangakas. Dare I shit on Oda once more? You know, it is kind of hard to illustrate these powers and keep track of everything, but for the most part, it just takes a little bit longer to read the images, and my brain can piece the rest together. I do, however, like the later chapters' environmental design. This comic uses a unique, limited color palette, mostly being in black and white and red, save for its first arc, which is wholly black and white, but it really gives it a unique visual style that I really like. In terms of word balloons and typography, Edgelord opted to go a hand-drawn route, and it really actually fits in with the overall aesthetic of the comic. There are no walls of text, as this is a highly action-heavy comic, so the handwritten nature of the dialogue never feels out of place. The panel layout is solid, it's simple when it needs to be, and it's unique and more intense for situations like the fight scenes, an approach I like to use myself. The layout should match the tone of the scene. Overall, I really dig this, and there is clear improvement on display from beginning to the current iteration of this comic's lifespan. Keep it up, dude. Now it's time to break down the praises and pain points. I pronounced that a little weird. Now it's time to break down the praises and pain points. See, that flows a little better. It was weird. Why did I say it like that? Anyway, praises. 1. The art style is pretty unique, blending the sort of shonen-inspired manga with a more Western-style character design, as well as interesting backgrounds that improve as the series progresses. 2. The story is updated consistently, which is not something I can say for a lot of webcomics, especially my own. It's always nice to have a story you can check in on every week. 3. Dude, the clown angle is actually really fun. Luckily, I'm in the minority of people that actually think clowns are funny. I know, we're few and far between. Not all of us think clowns are creepy. I think they're hilarious. So all the clown tropes are positive for me, especially pieing yourself in the face to achieve your clown trick. That's really funny. As for the pain points, 1. Sometimes the fight scenes can get a little bit hard to read. Just a little bit more planning might actually push this over the line into a more legible layout. As mentioned before, even some professional mangakas are out here drawing hard to read fight scenes, so don't beat yourself up over it. But I would recommend just a bit more planning, more referencing, and even watching real fights, be that pros in the ring or just street fight videos. It can help a lot. Reference video is super underrated. 2. The backgrounds, while they clearly did get better, could still use a bit of work. As someone who much rather enjoys drawing characters than environments, I can understand why they may be neglected. But to become a truly great artist, one must draw everything, and that includes architecture and nature. I do like the direction with this more abstracted style of the buildings, you know, clowning around with the design. I had to say it. But I think you could push yourself a little more with it. 3. Third pain point. I don't know, it's not finished, honestly. Just keep working on your craft, dude. I think you got something here. But maybe go back and do a little bit of redraw on the first arc. That's all. I like this one a lot. Let's wrap this up. So, that was Auguste Fighter. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. That's Auguste Fighter. Thank you very much for sending it in, UwuEdgelord. I very much enjoyed it. I do recommend it if you like shonen. Keep up the craft. Anyway, if you want your comic reviewed, or if you want to send me anything else, like fan art or hate mail, send it to deviantartsubmissions@gmail.com. I will get to everyone's submission eventually. I do follow through, it just takes a while. Like, comment, subscribe. Seriously, comment. My videos would do better if you guys commented on them. I think I pissed off enough people to get more comments on this one. YouTube likes high comment videos, so please get into a fight down there. I don't know. How am I going to get some more engagement bait here? Oh, I know. Nintendo is garbage. They make poopy, stinky hardware that can't even pump out 60 FPS, and those fuckers put Bayonetta in Switch jail. Yeah, fuck Nintendo. Alright, there we go. That ought to work, and we hit our quota. Hell yeah. We got the Oda slander, and we got the Nintendo slander. I feel like there's something missing that I say in like every one of my videos. Or almost all of them. Anyway, a shout out to the patrons. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.